Salutations to all our future judges. In this video, we are going to see how to prepare for civil judge exams preliminary part 4. Those who have not seen part 1, part 2 and part 3, please go and watch part 1, part 2 and part 3 so that you get a continuity when you watch this video. 16. Information by instructions to the candidates. It is very important to note that people who are not, or candidates who are not residents or domiciles of state of Tamil Nadu will not get the benefit of reservation, but they can compete under open competition. It simply says that you won't get a reservation, but still you can participate in the exam. And people who have studied the prescribed qualified course in Tamil medium, they'll get 20% reservation. But we should note that merely writing the exam does not mean that you have studied in Tamil medium. You need to study the entire course in Tamil medium. That is very important. And the certificate for proving that you have studied the course in Tamil medium should be obtained from the head of the institution. And if there is no suitable candidate who has studied in Tamil medium, then non-PSTM, that is, people who are not studied in Tamil medium, can also be taken in that place belonging to the respective communal category. And each and every candidate needs to verify their eligibility to claim a reservation under PSTM scheme, that is, people who have studied in Tamil medium scheme, before filing an online application, failing which their application will get rejected. And section 26 and 27C of Tamil Nadu Government Service Conditions of Service Act 2016, it says that reservation will not apply to destitute widows and ex-servicemen. And if there is no suitable women applicants available for selection, then it can be given to any other eligible applicants belonging to the same communal category. And with respect to SC Arundhatiyars, generally preferential basis is given to SC Arundhatiyars, which we call as internal allocation. If even after filling up the vacancy of this SC Arundhatiyar, if there are more qualified Arundhatiyars under SC category, then they can compete in normal SC quota. And other way around, if the post reserved for Arundhatiyar remains unfilled, or if there is no person who is qualified under the Arundhatiyar category, then any SC candidate can occupy that place or compete for that seat under reservation category. And candidates with low vision or hard of hearing, one arm, one leg, both legs, leprosy cure, dwarfism, acid attack victims, all are eligible under the category of differently disabled. All of them are considered to be differently disabled, but they should produce a physical fitness certificate from the medical board stating that their disability will not affect their ability to function as a civil judge. If you need to know more details about this aspect, you can read the Tamil Nadu State Judicial Service Cadre and Recruitment Rules 2007. That will give you an insight into these aspects. And one more aspect is, no additional time or scribe assistance will be provided to the differently disabled. And any claim made after submission of online application will not be entertained by the Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission. Application with incomplete details, wrong claims, or wrong information will be absolutely rejected. And pertaining to the third gender, the determination of the community and the reservation in employment, everything is dealt with in Annexure E. Now, the 15th point what this states is, the candidate has to furnish correct and true information regarding any criminal case against him, in case if he has got arrested, in case if any proceedings were dropped against him, or he was acquitted, or he was convicted, or case was quashed against him. All these details should be furnished. And the next point is, if a candidate is debarred or disqualified by any recruiting agency or any disciplinary authority, he needs to give all these informations as well. And if he has participated in any agitation or affiliated in any political organization, even these aspects he needs to disclose to the commission. And information relating to his candidature in election for parliament, state legislature, local bodies, trade union, such as originals of judgment, order or GO pertaining to the dropping of further action in departmental proceedings, or any document that may prove the suitability of such applicants. In some cases, what will happen is the candidate would have been a government servant. In that case, some departmental proceeding would have been taken against him and that could have been dropped also. In that case, he has to produce that government order which states that the departmental inquiry or the departmental proceedings against the candidates was dropped. And all such events that occur after the submission of application until the date of his or her selection and appointment shall be reported to the commission forthwith. Generally what happens is, generally we report whatever has happened prior to the application. But what happens is, after the application, some things untoward might occur to a candidate. Even those aspects should be reported to the commission. If you fail to do so, it will be considered that you have suppressed a material information and it will attract suitable penal action. 17. Information under Right to Information Act and claim for revaluation or retotaling. You need to note that the permission to peruse or obtain copies of answer sheet will be given only after the recruitment process is over or finalized. Even if you want to obtain the details of marks awarded, you can get only after the finalization of the recruitment process. And for preliminary exam, they will release a key which would be tentative in the beginning. Then they'll seek your opinion or your objection to the answers. Then they will publish the final key. And the key for main exam will not be published. Revaluation and retotaling will not be entertained. Decision of Honorable High Court will be final with respect to disqualification, suitability of a candidate. Point number 18. If you have any grievancy, you can get a redressal of the said grievancy from grievancy redressal cell. And the commission has provided the telephone number as well as the email address through which you can contact the said grievance redressal cell, and they have also provided the time during which you can approach the commission. And individual communication regarding date and time of certificate verification, viva voce test, that is interview, and counseling will be intimated by SMS, email and not by post. However, a candidate has to watch the TNPC website regularly. Hall ticket can be downloaded from the website of Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission. Other important information which is given as 19th point. Candidates, those who possess a valid hall ticket, will only be permitted into the examination hall. Selection of a candidate can be cancelled by TNPSC at any stage, and all the selections are only provisional. In the examination hall, a candidate is not permitted to take mobile phone or any other electronic gadgets. If any candidate is found to be possessing any of the electronic gadgets, he will be debarred. So it's better that we avoid the electronic gadgets. Point number 20. Some general instructions are given to the candidates for examination. They should be decently dressed. They should be present in the examination venue before 30 minutes of the starting of the exam. And no candidate will be permitted to enter into the examination hall after 30 minutes of starting of the exam. On demand by invigilator, hall ticket shall be shown to him or her. Strict discipline shall be maintained by the candidate. That is, no smoking or quarreling inside the examination hall or in the examination venue. Tea, coffee, snacks, soft drinks, etc. will not be allowed inside the examination venue. And a candidate should sit in the seat allotted to them. And if answer sheet is damaged or if number is not printed, then the candidate should exchange it before filling up the answer sheet. And the question booklet will generally be supplied before 10 minutes of the exam, so that you can see the question paper and check whether there is any damage in the question paper or if it is in serial order, and if there is any blank pages. If there is any blank page, it needs to be exchanged. And inside the examination hall, only ballpoint pen and hall ticket will be permitted. And inside the examination hall, you are not permitted to borrow any material or instruments from other candidates. For preliminary examination, candidate should shade the answer field completely. There will be circles which you need to shade. Optical mark recognition. So you need to shade the answers. Next is irregular practices such as consulting with others inside the examination hall is strictly prohibited. No additional time will be given for any of the candidate. That is, if 3 hours is the stipulated time, you won't be given time more than 3 hours. And you will not be permitted to come out of the examination hall before the completion of those 3 hours. Answer sheet should be written to the invigilator. Within 7 days from the date of publication of the tentative answer key, the answers can be challenged using answer key challenge window available in the Commission's website. You are not supposed to send email or SMS. That will not be entertained. And the only option you have is you need to use the window answer key challenge. 21 says how to apply. Application should be submitted online through the given websites of the Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission, and one-time registration and applicant's dashboard is very important for applying for any post. For one-time registration, the candidate should have a scanned image of his photograph, certificate specified, and signature. All these should be kept ready in a DVD or CD or pen drive so that it will be helpful for you to upload when you are filling up the one-time registration as application. Applicants should enter the unique ID and password to view the already available information and update them. If you want to update, you need to enter your unique ID and password and you can update them. One-time registration will not be considered as an application for any post. Application should be made separately. An online application uploaded without photograph and signature will be summarily rejected. After submission of online application, no particulars can be altered. So please be sure that you fill in the perfect details. And my suggestion is you take a snapshot, or to call a screen shot, or a print screen option if you are doing it on a laptop, and you take a printout of that screenshot and you cross check with what you have filled so that it will be easy for you to correct if there are any mistakes. Candidates can take a printout or download the PDF once the application is filed. And they are given some important notes in this regard. The applicant should not disclose his login credentials to anyone else. Throughout the selection process, a registered mobile number and email should be active, because intimation will be sent through SMS or email, and you cannot change your mobile number or email after you have submitted your application. The Commission shall not be responsible in any manner for non-delivery of SMS or email, and it will be the responsibility of the candidate to update himself regularly by visiting the Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission's official website. 22. Upload or submission of document. So if there is some document or testimonial or certificates which you need to upload online, you need to do it whenever it is demanded, failing which the application will be rejected. General instructions they are given, which is point 23, you need to apply well in advance, and TNPSC is not responsible if candidate could not file the application before last date. So please ensure that you file the application well in advance, and a candidate shall not apply for more than once for a post. SMS alert for the tests will be notified to the registered mobile number of the candidate. Candidate should take due care to upload good quality photographs in the application. What happens is, if the application if you are not uploaded a good quality photograph, the face could be smudged, so it could cause some problems to you when you go for the exam. So it's better to upload a good quality photograph. Hall ticket should be downloaded from the TNPSC website. Hall ticket can be downloaded 1 week prior to the date of the examination. It is an approximate date they are saying, and the same shall be informed through announcement and through SMS by email. If there are any discrepancies in the hall ticket, you need to intimate the said fact to the Commission immediately. The candidature is always provisional at all stages, and TNPSC can reject any candidature at any stage And applications containing wrong claims or incorrect particulars or suppression of very crucial material information is very dangerous to any candidate, because his selection itself will be declared as invalid. And last date for submission of application. According to the notification of 2019, the last date was given as 11:59 p.m. on 9/10/2019. However, the subsequent notifications, the deadline may differ. If you like the video and the video was useful to you, please do subscribe the channel by pressing the red color subscribe button and select all, so that you receive the notification of any videos posted in the channel immediately. Do share the video to those who are in need and help them as well. If you like the video, please do press the thumbs up button. If you feel that I've left something in this video, or if you want me to post any video on any other subject you want, let me know in the comment. I'll try to post a video on that subject as well. Let us join hands together and contribute for a learned society. Thank you.